Custode. Alright, pardon my Latin, because it's actually Latin, and I don't know how to pronounce it. So, roughly, when you translate to English, it comes about who will guard the gods. Now, right here, as you see on screen, global cyber intelligence and citizens privacy, a very long topic that I'm going to present right now. So, it seems very long, it seems very boring, very geekish. So, it's like, okay, I'm going to be talking about the internet, pros and cons, something that I guess all of us here know about. So, before I go on to it, I'd like to ask you, like, how many of you here are Facebook users? Hardcore Facebook users. Alright, good. Alright, good. Not completely great. Alright, and how many of you are Google Plus users? Whoa, okay. And EDM thing, we got a whole lot of stuff. So basically, I'm going to actually convert some random topic, but some random topic that's of importance, that's in the news recently, that is global cyber intelligence, and then take it into, let's say, I'll try to make it into an optional topic, I'll try to make it interesting. So, what exactly am I trying to convey through this? You know, I actually grew up on a steady diet of sci-fi, but I also love classics. So it's like, I read sci-fi like Isaac Asimov, but then I also love classics like George Orwell or Shakespeare. It doesn't matter. And then one book that actually struck me as very interesting was this one, that is George Orwell's 1984. Now that's a classic masterpiece, especially the way they start with the clock struck 13. Now, this is one idea that actually relates to that very famous book. If you have read 1984, you would know that it's like there's one civilization and only one government. I guess there are two governments and they're constantly at war. And the police and the government are constantly watching you. They monitor every single one of your movements. They know what you speak. They know what you convey through the internet. Everything. They actually control every single movement. Or you think that they don't control, but actually they do. We got these reports from the Guardian about the Edward Snowden controversial issue. Now, Mr. Snowden is somewhere out there in Russia. Nobody knows. Maybe the CIA or the NSA know. We don't know. I really don't know. But then, when that issue actually came up, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm a user. I'm not much of a Facebook fan. I'm really sorry about that. But I'm more of a Google Plus user. So when I started reading about that particular issue, I read about how Mr. Snowden, an NSA employee, actually he turned it over. Anything that we send over the internet is actually accessed by governments, and in this particular case, more by the United States government. So that was actually a big revelation. It shocked people, because nobody knew. It's like one of us here, like all of us here, when we send something to the net, let's say it's some photo. We click on the like button on Facebook. We click on the plus one button on Google Plus. But every single bit of that information actually reaches the servers of the intelligence agencies. They know what we said, they know what we like, they know what we're doing out there on the net. They know what we're speaking with, they know all our chat conversations, our emails, their reports and documents to the Guardian newspaper. He mentions that when he was an NSA employee a few years back, he actually could access information about a group of any person that he wishes as long as they belong to this sector, as long as they belong to this region of control. So he could actually access it with a few buttons. So it's like our information, we think it's private, but they don't know it. So it's like we go to a person to build a locker for us, alright? And we have the locker back home, and then it's like we got this key, and only that key can open the locker. But imagine that there is a duplicate key, a spare key that can open the same locker. We don't know it exists, but it actually exists with some guys out there. And that's exactly how it is with us here. All of us, we are avid internet users. We use internet for a variety of purposes. And the thing that we don't realize is that we are being watched. Is that every single one of our movements, everything, our presence in the net, what we do, everything is actually known by the agencies out there. So what does it actually tell us? Now, it's like, Big Bang Theory. How many of you are Big Bang Theory fans? Oh, there you go. Oh, alright. Well, when it comes to that, Sheldon Cooper when he was young, he actually searched the net to, where can I buy plutonium? No, why does he need plutonium? Because I want to actually build a reactor for my town. So he wants to build a working reactor for town. And what happens as the story goes, as the show goes, he types, how can I get plutonium? And he gets a lot of weird websites. And then the next day, well, he gets a call and his mother opens the door and there were like, these two like, three tailor shoes guys out there, FBI, CIA, all of them, and I like coming and telling, gentlemen, I speak to Mr. Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, it's me. And then, well, Sheldon Cooper's antics, everything, but finally, they actually came to know that he searched for plutonium. They're living in a world where either there are advancements in science and technology, but also there's a lot of harm that's being done to people. We know about the rising crime society, we know about acts of terrorism, ever since even before and especially after September 11, we've had a spate of terrorist attacks. The lives of people are in danger. So when the Congress, US Congress and the Senate questioned the National Security Agency, when they questioned about this particular surveillance program called PRISM, they questioned, actually, why do you do this? And then the reply they gave was, it's for the sake of national security. It's like, nobody will understand, but we do prevent a lot of terrorist attacks. We do protect the lives of people. So that's the reason why we got surveillance programs. Because we can tap and we can listen into conversations from across the globe, from a variety of nations, from the consulates and embassies of almost all nations. We can tap into, we can know, we can identify the source. If there's a mole, we can know that mole. If there's a person who is planning sinister acts against US citizens, we can know that too. Well, that actually gives us information and edge over the terrorists or against the antisocial elements. So that's the reason that they gave. Now, should we be thinking in that particular manner too? Alright, so they're doing something that's good for the society. Alright, they're doing something so that they can protect us. They're not just people who are listening to every single one of our conversations to have a good laugh. No, probably they're doing this to protect ourselves if we are not doing that. So that's like two sides of the coin. And this program that I'm talking about was made by Mr. Edward Snowden, PRISM. Well, what PRISM actually does is this. It's like, as I mentioned about the land locker, we got this locker, but then the spare key, for example, if you go on servers, whether it's Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, Facebook, any of these big IT majors, when we access their websites or web pages or web links, these are all encrypted. They are encrypted. They are all protected. So we think we have got that assurance with us. They are encrypted. They are protected. As long as, for example, we think in Facebook when we mark our conversation as private, nobody is going to know that. The Facebook servers are going to protect them for sure. But there is a back access code for these encryption codes. These encryption, whatever message that we have, and that's actually that's the spare key to the locker. That's what they're handing over to government agencies. The government agencies, when they reach out, I mean, the people we trusted, people like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and all the famous personalities, people who started up the IT majors that we see today, well, those same companies have been working with the government. And they too have the same reason of national security. So, that's what brings us to the main question. Like, what is this? Should we actually consider this to be like the 1984 Nobel, the government controlling and looking at all of our moves, or should we consider it to be something that's good for us? Now, here I have an heat map. On the NSA heat map, as you can see, as the colors become brighter, that is, as it progresses from green to yellow to orange, it shows the level of concentration of tapping, and information that they get from these embassies or from these countries. So that's how they actually tap. That shows how important all these countries are and how the United States government and also various other governments too. Even India actually revealed that they do have programs like this. Even in India, organizations like the NTRO do actually have access to our cyberspace accounts. Now, this is the basic idea about how PRISM is. So, the question is, when this particular news was revealed to the people, everyone, many of them, especially in the United States and also in other countries, especially in Latin America, they took out of the streets. They supported Mr. Snowden and they supported other whistleblowers, and they were like, Uncle Sam. So Uncle Sam represents the United States. Well, here, look at Uncle Sam. Is Uncle Sam watching over us all the time? And people are with support for the NSA. So the big question is, Big Brother versus national security. What can we actually do about this? Like, can we do something? Can we actually go to the government and say, sir, we actually want you to take this profile, classified information, military information, it's important national security issues, we cannot reveal that. We cannot change that at all. So, the most important thing that we have to realize is not only is the internet a home for rising number of cyber crimes, it's also a place where anything that we do is not private. Actually, it's public. There are people who know about what we do over the net. And the next most important thing to realize is we need to keep our eyes and ears open to such issues that are happening there. And the third most important thing is what we are angry at is not that such programs exist. Alright, if they protect national security, then well, it's for our benefit. But what are we angry at? We are angry at the fact that we were not informed of the existence of such programs. We were not informed that there exist such surveillance issues, such surveillance programs, where they can actually access what we do. So the most important thing is for us to use various tools, like in India we got the RTI, but in other nations too, if the people actually want to know about information, if they want to know whether such programs exist or not, they can actually access it. And the next important thing is, well, the government needs to do something to ensure that it does not give out all the information, because then that would cancel out the advantage that they have over the other social elements. So they need to do it in such a way that the balance between, big brother versus national security issues, they need to create a balance. So now you might all be thinking like, alright, now here I am, and I'm like in the 11th grade, so I'm coming over here, I'm talking about national security issues, and I'm talking about Big Brother and the NSA and all those things. But what do I actually have in mind? In my mind, this is a topic that hasn't received much attention. Because how many of us actually went through the editorials supplied by the Guardian newspaper to the Indian magazine? How many of us actually went through the congressional reports related to the prison program? Because we have a right to know. Because we are living in a world where we need to have this right to know. We need to know what's happening in the world, and we need to know about the dangers that lie ahead. We need to know about all the pitfalls. So that's the basic idea. Because I want to convert a topic that is some random topic, to a topic that might not necessarily be awesome, but at least it helps to create an awareness among the people. So that's the reason why this topic has been selected. And now, maybe we were our own masters. At any rate, we need to understand that the internet, once addressed by the former Vice President of the United States, Mr. Al Gore, as the information superhighway, the internet is not as private as we think it is. The internet is a very public domain. The internet is not something that we can confide all our secrets in. The internet is not a place where we can actually reveal what we have in our heart and then think that it will not be accessed by anybody else. So the most important thing is, in this world of advancements in science and technology, we need to understand where the dangers lie ahead. And we need to know that the internet, as I mentioned once again, is not a private domain. Thank you very much.